Okay, so yeah, I think it's simple. I think Trump helped facilitate a fake electric scheme to override the election in 2020, to have Mike Pence not certify the election, and then allowed violence to happen at the Capitol. So Donald Trump gave a speech for an hour and a half where he would say things like, fight like hell, they're stealing the country away from us. And then when people got to the Capitol, Donald Trump sat there for 3 hours and watched them. When his aides, his family, and everyone was telling him, put a stop to the violence, call them, tell them to go home. He did not. And I think that is an example of Trump not committing to the peaceful transfer of power. He was allowing the violence to happen when he could have stopped it.
Okay, so as far as allowing the violence to happen when he could have stopped it, I'm wondering exactly what he could have done given the fact that the Capitol Police were activated, in fact, pretty quickly in the middle of that debacle. As far as not committing to the peaceful transfer of power, do we mean verbally or in action? So I agree with you verbally. He never suggested that I am going to leave, and then he did. So, so I'm not sure actually how much we disagree on this matter. I thought that January 6th was terrible. I thought that his behavior between the election of November 2020 and January 6th was bad. There may be disagreement on the extent to which we believe incitement took place as opposed to bad behavior that raised the temperature that I think was really, really negative. As far as not committing to the peaceful transfer of power, he clearly committed to the extent that he left, right? I mean, Joe Biden has been president for the last 3.5 years. For how much of that he's been mentally aware. But I'm just wondering what sort of where do we disagree?
Yeah. Well, I'll quote you, right? January 6th was the worst thing to happen since 9/11. Right? And I just want to be clear that you agree he verbally did not want to commit to the peaceful transfer of power. He tried to stop it, yet you are still saying that he should be the president of the United States.
Well, I mean, he did
right?
not.
That is your claim, though. He should be the president of the United States, and you agree he verbally did not commit to the peaceful transfer of power.
Well, I mean, he did not verbally suggest that there ought to be a violent uprising, revolution, or military
but he also didn't stop it, right? So there were people inside the Capitol, and he sat for 3 hours. His closest aides
he should have spoken earlier. I agree with you.
Yes, and they were telling him, like, Trump, you have to do this. You have to stop. He was informed at 2:14 p.m. that they were outside the Capitol saying, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. His aides went up to him and said, they are saying this. You need to stop something. What does he do? At like 2:24 p.m., he says, Mike Pence is a traitor, right? That was his tweet. Why do you think he would tweet that when he knew the violence was going on? They were saying, hang Mike Pence. Mike Pence had to go into hiding. Why do you think he would tweet that at that moment?
I mean, I disagree with him tweeting with that.
I'm not saying you agree with him.
So the question as to why Donald Trump does anything is a matter of public speculation.
You're a smart guy. I'm asking for your speculation.
I mean, I don't. If your question to me is whether I think that Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence murdered, I think the answer is no.
I'm not asking if he wanted him murdered. I'm saying, do you think he wanted the violence to stop?
Do I think he wanted? Yes.
Really? So his idea to stop the violence was saying Mike Pence is a traitor.
I think that he was in control of the forces that he was in control of, and the Capitol Police weren't in control of Nancy Pelosi.
What was he? He was the president of the United States.
Right, and the military was
instead
activated.
of saying, hey, get out, he said, no, Mike Pence, you're a traitor. Okay. Why do you think he would say that at that moment?
Okay, I just expressed to you that I can't see into his head because I have a hard time.
Yeah, but you can make a guess, though, right?
Can I ask you why you think he did that?
Why do I
mean, you said that he didn't want to be hung.
So this is what I think
he didn't want to be hanged, right?
Yes.
You said that.
Yeah,
so
I don't think he wanted to be hanged. I think that Donald Trump was indifferent to what happened in so far the violence of Mike Pence. I think he wanted a lot of chaos. He wanted violence to delay the certification of the vote, which he was successful with, in hopes that there would be confusion and someone else might step up, like another senator, so they could allow to put forward the fake electorates. Because that was the plan. That was in Greensboro's plan to do that, and that was the whole idea. So yes, Donald Trump was okay with the violence because he did not want the certification to happen. And in fact, for the first time in American history, he delayed it. And to me, it's like, Ben, I really like you, but I think there's a lot of attributes that I like about you, especially your American values. That is the antithesis of American values. Allowing that to happen, wanting that to happen, and then, yeah.
Okay, so I think that Donald Trump obviously should have done more. I agree with you. He should have done more on January 6th. I think that, he shouldn't have tweeted that about Mike Pence. I disagreed with what he was saying about Mike Pence's in the entire electoral scheme between November and January. As far as not committing to the peaceful transfer of power, again, what I will say is that the legal transfer of power did in fact take place. He did not, in fact, initiate a militia to storm the capital of the United States.
Trump's will.
Okay, but
that's I agree. It happened because of the guardrails of democracy, but Donald Trump did not want it to stand.
Okay.
Do you agree that Donald Trump did not want that election to be certified?
I mean, sure.
So he did not want the peaceful transfer of power then?
I mean, if the election had not been certified, then there still would have been a legal process that took place, right? I mean, the question as to...
And you would have
hold on, can I ask the opposite for just a second? So is your contention that Donald Trump actually would have been in favor of, for example, like a military coup to keep himself in power?
I think Donald Trump absolutely would have. And all evidence points that he was trying to find any way he could stay in power.
Okay.
He was. And this is gone.
I think he was trying to find. I think he was trying to find any way to say that he didn't lose. I don't think that he was trying to activate any way that he could stay in power. That's not quite the same thing.
No, him saying that he wasn't trying to lose is different from him sending down fake electorates with fake signatures to fraudulently steal the election.
Okay, in order for there to be an insurrection, for example, you'd have to activate the military.
I didn't say an insurrection.
Okay, so again,
all
that's fine. That's fine.
I'm saying is all of Donald Trump's behavior has suggested he did not commit to the peaceful. He did not want the peaceful.
If you're asking me to defend his behavior on January 6th, you'll notice that I really haven't.
Yeah,
so I'm
like, I feel like
exactly
you're underplaying of how horrible this was.
I mean,
and that's the issue.
Which part?
Are you
talking about the riots? Are you talking about his behavior?
I'm talking about the fake electorate scheme and the idea that and allowing the violence for 3 hours to happen in the Capitol when they were under attack. The senators, the people that we're supposed to protect, to uphold our democracy, he was attacking, and he watched it happen on TV when everyone around him was stopping. And I agree that you think that's bad, but you're still saying, you know what, that guy did that. He let our democracy attack, make him be president. Well, that's your position.
Yes, because
right, that is your position.
Okay,
yeah, and just so we're clear what the stakes are.
Yes.
This man would want to do it again.
Okay, so let me ask you about that. Can I ask you about that?
Can I quickly say one more
Sure,
thing?
please go ahead.
Yeah, JD Vance has said he would not have certified the election.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you say that he'd want to do it again. Can I ask you how?
I mean, he could do like the exact same scheme with fake electorates, except that this time, you know what? JD Vance would be like, yeah, I'm not certifying the election. What do you mean? I mean, all Mike Pence had to do was not.
No. But practically speaking, he is currently not in office, correct? He's not the president.
But you want him to become president. And
yes.
so I agree.
Do.
If he's not president, he can't do it.
Correct.
Which is why I don't think anyone's voting for Donald Trump.
So wait. So I have a question. Do you believe? And this is really the question, because if you're talking about he's going to do it again, the only opportunity that he'd have to do it again, presumably, would be if he won and then he were running for, say, a third term.
No, I disagree. I think he can do it for someone else. He might do it for another candidate that he likes that'll uphold the MAGA values. MAGA has taken over the Republican Party, much to your chagrin. I agree, it's bad, but he absolutely would do that again to someone who's loyal. And JD Vance has said he would not certify the election. Okay. I think that's a real threat. And you've already acknowledged that you can't predict Trump. You can't even know why he'd be thinking anything. How could you say that won't be a threat? Because
I find it highly implausible that Donald Trump is so caring about somebody who's not Donald Trump.
Really? What about Donald Trump Jr.?
You think he's going to do that for Donald Trump Jr.?
I think he'd do it for Donald Trump Jr. I think he'd do Vivek Ramaswamy. I think he would do it for anyone who's loyal to show that they're still upholding the MAGA name, and he will want the Democrats to lose.
You're entitled to your opinion on it. I think that's radical catastrophism. I think that
it already happened once, right? You're saying it's radical catastrophism that almost happened once. The only reason
because the conditions are not the same. And it's not possible for them to be the same. Okay, when it comes to the actual election itself, and you say, and you want him to be president. Okay, let me be clear about my position throughout this election cycle. When there were primaries, I was not supportive of President Trump in the primaries. When it comes down to a binary election, everybody now has a choice. Okay, there are only 2 candidates left. I've made pretty clear, I think, over the course of this debate, the myriad reasons why I don't support Kamala Harris. Okay, now Donald Trump is on the other side. So the question is, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit it out? Am I supposed to
I think you're not supposed to vote for the person who you said helped do the act that was the worst act in America since 9/11. Yeah, I don't think you should vote for him. Okay, call me crazy. I think that when someone is trying to overthrow the election, you shouldn't vote for him to be president. Okay, is that like such a crazy idea?
I think that the bottom line is that when you're in an election, you vote for the person you think will be the better president for the country. And what I liked about President Trump was his first term, not his activity between November and January. That's the simple answer. You're not going to get me justifying January 6th. You're not going to catch me pretending that I think his activity on January 6th was good. I also think that it is an act of catastrophism to suggest that Donald Trump is going to facilitate the same exact thing he did on January 6th because the conditions are not the same. In fact, if you want to prevent him from doing the same thing, probably you should vote for him, because then when he's president again, he's not going to be able to run for a third term.
I think gambling with democracy is dangerous, and that's what you're suggesting we're doing. We already have a man who's shown that he would overthrow the election. You're like, you know what? Let's roll the dice again. Let's see if he does it. No. You agree it's possible he might do it, right?
No, I don't think
you think it's impossible. He might
for him to overthrow the election.
For him to do the same electric plot and not certify the election. You think that's impossible for him to do again?
Yes, I do not think that will happen.
There's no possible world where that happens.
I do not think that he is going to have the capacity.
Yeah, I mean, we already seen him do it once, and now it's impossible to do it again. Yeah, I just find that.
I have a question. How's Chuck Schumer going to facilitate Donald Trump's fake elector scheme?
Sorry?
How would Chuck Schumer, the current Senate Majority Leader, facilitate a fake elector scheme? I'm acting on a practical level. That is not going to happen. So again, you can think whatever you think about Donald Trump's intent. I can think whatever I think about Donald Trump's intent. In order to actually, commit a crime, let's say this is a crime, you'd have to have motive, means, and opportunity. Okay, he doesn't have means or opportunity. So it makes it difficult for me to believe that he would do this.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, all evidence. Sorry.
That's
all right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I was up on time.
Thanks a lot.
This is the second time we've met too, by the way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.